You create a policy to kill those deals before they ever become a crisis.
Okay, so all that intelligence work leads us right to step 3, the proactive two-part plan. This is where the magic happens. It's the moment you take all that raw data and forge it into a concrete plan for moving forward. And this quote, it says it all. The whole point of gathering all that intel wasn't just to sit around and admire the problem. The point was to build a weapon to solve it. It's time to turn all that analysis into action. So here's the genius of the plan. It's not a simple yes or no. It's a conditional, two-part strategy based entirely on what the intel told you. If the data shows the hospital just isn't ready for full autonomy, then the plan is to first get way better at using the current budget. But if the data says you are ready, then the plan is to start with a small, controlled experience. It's a smart, flexible strategy that actually adapts to the real world. And running through this entire plan, there is one single, crystal clear priority that trumps everything else: the absolute financial security of the hospital. It's the North Star. Just like national security in the world of geopolitics, this becomes the non-negotiable goal that shapes every single move. So, you've got your brilliant, data-driven plan. But what happens if nobody wants to move? What if there's resistance? Well, that brings us to the final and maybe the most dramatic step: taking decisive action. I mean, this is a classic problem, right? You've done all the homework, you've built the perfect plan, but the committee is just stuck. They're hesitating, they're debating endlessly, they're completely gridlocked. So what does a truly proactive leader do now?
They consider the unilateral option. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds pretty aggressive. But in this playbook, it's not a power grab. It's a carefully calculated strategic maneuver. Here's how it actually works. Instead of trying to force a huge decision on the whole hospital, the leader says, okay, forget that for a second. Let's run a small independent pilot program just within my own department. The goal here is simple. Use that small pilot to generate hard, undeniable, real-world data that proves the new model works. You break the stalemate with facts, not arguments. And that right there is the core principle of this whole move. You have to act decisively to break a deadlock. You can't just let things stall forever. But you do it in a way that's carefully calculated to build consensus with results, not force, and to keep internal conflict to a minimum. It's a surgical strike. So let's zoom out and put a bow on this. What's the big lesson here? What can we take away from this hospital hypothetical and actually apply to our own lives? I think the key takeaway is this. Proactive leadership isn't really about having all the right answers from the get-go. It's about having a disciplined process. A process for taking a situation that's messy and uncertain and systematically turning it into a strategic opportunity. You define the field, you get the facts, you build a smart plan, and then you act decisively to build momentum. And that really leaves us with one final question for you. Think about your job, your projects, maybe even your community. What's one complex problem, big or small, that's stuck in a deadlock that could be solved if you applied this strategic playbook?